Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with a new The Traitors US discussion for you guys, and we are coming out of the first 3 episodes for season 4. And because of that, we have a very rare opportunity to ask an unprecedented but very, very fun question. Is Michael Rapaport the worst faithful in the history of the US version of this show?
I think the answer is an astounding yes. I mean, take out of the equation that he's grabbing other people's waters and drinking out of them. In general, not only is he not helping the faithfuls in a way that's constructive, he feels like his energy is just bringing, move fast and break things, where he's not actually giving a chance for then anybody else to have a say. These roundtables, man, they're really turning into just like distraction city because of him.
Yeah, it feels like we're just watching him dogpile everyone else that's at the table to the point that none of them can either breathe or speak
Or drink their own drink.
I will never be over that. Never get your own water, Michael. Okay, here's the thing. We don't want to be reactionary here. We don't want to sit here and be accused of having a recency bias. So we put a little bit of time into this. We really thought back over the first 3 seasons of the US version of the show. We'll talk a little bit later in the video about if there's any comparable to what Michael is doing, any runner-up to the worst faithful ever.
Absolutely. And we're not saying that there aren't bad faithfuls out there that just, didn't play a good game or didn't know what was going on or all of that sort of thing. We are talking about hitting these like 5 different points that we've come up with here of like why Michael really is the worst faithful that we have seen on the US version so far.
Yeah, and if there are any future aspiring Traitors contestants out there, we are doing a normal people version here on NBC.
I can't wait.
Follow this criteria. We promise it will kind of maybe help you. We'll see. But all right, well, we have a lot to get into here. But before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here with all sorts of Traitors content, including, of course, reviews of the show the moment these episodes drop. We have more coming later this week on that.
Absolutely. We are here twice a week talking about the Traitors. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us. It really helps us here at the channel. And also, if you just want more content from us that's exclusive with this channel, you can join our memberships. It's a great way to be able to help support us. But also, we are covering exclusively there Hijack, which is one of our favorite shows, one of Matt's all-time favorite shows. He just loves it. Lots of fun. And it's just for our members and a way to say thank you to our members. So yeah, hit that membership button. It really does help us.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah. All right, we're going to get into these 5 reasons why Michael is an absolutely terrible faithful, and also just things you should not do if you are a faithful.
Yes.
Number 1, Michael Rapaport's attitude. He is loud. He is abrasive, and he is opinionated. Now, sure, it's okay if you're grumpy sometimes. Maybe you didn't have a good breakfast that morning. Maybe one of the other faithful stole your croissant. But I think you have to find a way to at least try to be agreeable on this show.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, we see that he is working with Tiffany right now, and she is trying to find a way to be able to work that Michael Rapaport angle, which is, I think a pretty good strategy because he's a way bigger target than her, and she is somebody who's known for her strategy. So she is a gamer, and a lot of the gamers are getting taken out here. So for her, having somebody who's a much bigger, like abrasive shield, that's the way to go. But just the same, I mean, some of these opinions and what he's focusing on, they're just not gameplay, really. He's just getting his feelings hurt, so he's getting mad about things. We have the whole thing that happened with Jam and that shield, and he just won't stop bringing it up, and it's like days later, and it's still going on, and it's like, man, the real of the shield is whoever gets the shield gets the shield. It's not supposed to be, let's all sit around and talk about it. If you find the chip to be able to get to the shield and you want to give it to somebody else, and you can do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And why this has become such a personal thing for him is completely distracting from the faithfuls being able to focus on who they think are actual traitors. His whole opinion on this wasn't, well, Jam Jam took it because he's a traitor and all the traitors are taking all the shields. That was like way at the bottom of the list. For him, it was just like, I'm the best looking. I should have this. We were all supposed to be up for discussion. No, the shields were never up for discussion.
Okay, here is what is up for discussion, Michael / other future contestants. There's a classic reality TV rule, and this does not just apply to the Traitors. You can go to Survivor, Big Brother, any other show out there.
Which we cover here at the channel.
Be okay to live with. Be okay to be around. Because yes, fundamentally, the purpose of the Traitors is that you're supposed to identify traitors. But if you are so insufferable that you make people's skin crawl, they're just going to want to get rid of you regardless. It's kind of a flip on what happened with Tony in season 3, where it wasn't that Tony was aggressively abrasive. It was just that nobody trusted him because of his resume, and because of that they just wanted him out. And it just feels like Michael, his time in the game is so unbelievably short here just because he is this insufferable where you can't play the game with him.
Yeah, I mean, we've had big personality, quirky characters on the show before, like Carolyn, who I love. Tom Sandoval, we'll have that conversation because I'm sure there's going to be some of you guys in the comments being like, Tom was worse. I don't feel so personally. I didn't know a lot about him going into that season, but by the end of the season, I found him a joy to watch. Listen, he was very funny. He was good entertainment. I'm not saying he's a great person. I want to be buddies with Tom, but watching him on the show, it was an awful lot of fun. He was a pleasure to watch. He was a pleasure to work with. And because he brought good entertainment for me as a viewer, Michael's not bringing that for me. He is just being loud in a rude way instead of kind of being loud and opinionated in a more entertaining way, like watching Tom on the phone trying to like hum out a song to a doll.
Tom on the phone humming out the song has to be I don't know, top 5 funniest moment in the history of this entire. It was so
absolutely, it's at the top of the list.
How can you be a singer in a cover band and that is your singing voice? I'm just throwing. I'm not a good singer either, Tom. It's okay. All right. Number 2. If you're going to be abrasive, if you're going to be loud, you need to at least come to us or come to another player in the game. He's close with Tiffany. Like, go to Tiffany and say, all right, you know what? This is a strategy of mine. This is what I'm doing for X, Y, or Z. At least give us something to make us think there is a logical backing so that people who are in your corner, and in this case, it's not a lot of people, feel incentivized to want to keep you.
Yeah, if he was, say, purposefully directing it towards people he really, truly thought was a traitor, and not Jam Jam being like, you stole my shield, I'm mad about it, so you're a traitor because I'm just pissed about it. Like, if you really think someone is a traitor and you're going to write their name down every time, that is no problem. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want to see everybody just play the, well, as long as it's not me game. I understand that that's a great way to get to the end, but it's not as entertaining to watch just everybody be a sheep around the table. It's cool to see the people like Tom Sandoval who will write down the same name over and over again, whether or not that person's actually a traitor, because that's what he actually believes. But that is not what is happening here with Michael.
I keep waiting that Tom is going to walk into this video and be like, you know what, guys, Dolores, she's a traitor. I have clocked it. I have figured it out. Okay, so you brought up the shield. You brought up Jam Jam, everything that's going on there. Michael wasting time. This is number 3 on the list. That if you want to be a good faithful, you have to at least perform well at the round table. The goal of the game is to find people. And the fact that he is wasting time with tangents, going at Jam Jam, talking all about this shield, getting very, very personal with things. Like, this is not intuitive to being a good traitor. And I feel like anyone who ever does this, you're either going to want to be 1, just voted off because you're annoying, or 2, everyone is just going to think you're a traitor because you're trying to get them off track.
Listen, I understand that people get their feelings hurt. I am a Pisces. It is Pisces season always for me. Everything hurts my feelings. I will cry about anything. So I completely understand that he's got his feelings hurt and
Yeah.
that it does happen. We've seen it happen on this show, every show, where people are in these types of strategy meetings and they are running off of hurt feelings, and that's fine. However, there is still some sort of a shift past that. We've been at a couple of round tables now,
Yeah.
and it's been the same energy where it's gone from like, my feelings are hurt, so I'm pissed off about that. People are calling it out. You're doing this only because your feelings are hurt. Yes, but he's not admitting to any of that. He still is like, oh no, it's, I really believe this. Also, I'm extra good looking. Like the distractions that are going on here are so huge, and it is wasting so much time on a show that I truly deeply love. It is easily my top favorite reality show because it is all strategy. It's one of the reasons why I didn't like the hidden secret traitor twist,
Yeah.
because I didn't get to know what the strategy was. I really like that about this show. And with Michael, he's not giving us any real reasons on his strategy, like you said in the confessionals,
Yeah.
but he's eating up time for anybody else here to be giving strategy, because everybody has to be like reeling him back in and
Yeah.
be like, okay, calm it down, drink somebody else's water. So, Eric can have a say, or somebody else can have a say, to actually figure out who's the traitor. Because Michael, it's not you. And I don't think anybody truly believes it's him with
Oh.
the way he's acting. And he's not actually helping anything.
So you mentioned earlier on in the video, I'm a very big fan of Hijack. And I know there's one thing you are
Yes.
a very, very big fan of. And this
Revenge.
is revenge stories about vengeance. And there is a
Yes.
line that I feel like has been in 100 different revenge movies over the years, which is, I've got a short fuse but a long memory. And like,
Right.
for revenge movies, for the John Wicks of
I
the
love
world,
you, John Wick.
that's very useful. But in the Traitors, you need to have somehow both a long fuse and a long memory, because you do want to keep track of slights, vendettas, anything that you do think on some crazy level can help you to actually identify someone, but you can't be reactive to it. You can't be constantly harping on things, getting your feelings hurt, constantly acting like this is exhibit A, B, C, Z, every letter in the alphabet, which is what Michael is doing with things that don't matter. Like this shield thing. It doesn't matter whether or not people think he's handsome. It doesn't matter. Like all of this is irrelevant, and it's just bad, frustrating, faithful gameplay.
It really is, because the biggest issue he has is he just won't listen to anybody.
No.
Like, he will somewhat listen to Tiffany, but it's only really in private. I
Yeah.
mean, once he's at the table, which is really the place where it's all coming together, where you're actually able to get somebody out.
Yeah.
He's not listening to what anybody is saying. He's not listening to anybody's evidence. And it's fine. If he listens to the evidence and he's like, you know what? I just don't believe it. I still think that it's Jam Jam, and I'm still going to write
Yeah.
his name down until I'm voted off the show. Okay, that's fine. But, why? Why aren't you listening? Is it because you're feeling the hurt?
Yeah, this is number 4. You have to be able to listen, and yeah, like you said, it's okay if you're out on an island with your vote. It's okay you
Of
want to be
course.
voting for Jam Jam every single time, but if you're to do this, you need to present a valid, cohesive explanation for everyone else. So at the very least, they're going to hear you. Like, let's go back in time here for just not that long.
All right, I'll beep, bop, 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 boop. Okay, we're back in time.
All right, we are back here to where Portia is getting all these votes because Ron shows up with all of this evidence. Like Ron, even if Portia didn't
Ron.
even if she didn't get banished at that particular round table, Ron at least came with information.
Prepared.
Yes, he was willing to stick his neck out. And that's why I know that there are people who are suspecting Ron. But if I was playing the Traitors, I wouldn't suspect him that hard, because I would feel like, okay, at the very least, you made a very good argument. You came here with sound information. Yes, I know a traitor could do this as well. But it just feels like if you're going on and on about someone no one else at the round table is really targeting, and you don't have that good of a reason why, that just feels like you're throwing stuff at the wall, which feels like you're desperately trying to play deflection. That's not good faithful behavior.
Okay, here's number
All
5.
right.
This behavior is giving rooms for the traitors to hide because he is always going to be a way bigger target than anybody else. Because here's the thing, if I was playing this show, I would want to be a faithful. I'm not that great at being sneaky, but I would be a faithful, and I would not want somebody who is being this like out there and loud and sucking all the attention out of the room, because it then is putting everybody's focus on Michael.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking away from the table, at the table, in their dreams. Everything is about Michael
Yes.
because he's kind of ruining the vibe for everyone to be able to get in there and actually talk strategy unless it's a one-on-one. And that's not enough time to be able to really present your opinions at the table to be able to get the votes together. You can do, of course, some pre-vote stuff, but at the table, you can sway votes. We've seen
Yes.
that happen, but you can't do that with Michael at this table. As a faithful, I don't want to play the game with Michael doing this at the table. He is making it that I am going to lose money because of his antics. I'm not here for the Michael show.
I've talked about this a long time ago in the past, but I'm going to reiterate it here. While you want to be a faithful, I want to be a traitor. And here's the reason why. It just feels like more fun. I'm not thinking in terms of whether or not
Faithfuls typically win the
I
show.
am not anticipating I am going to win either way. So I am just sitting
I'm
here
gonna
and
win.
being like, okay,
want the money.
congratulations. I'm going to
Oh,
lose. I'm going to be taken out in the 3rd episode because I'm just
Absolutely,
thinking
I'm taking you out.
that's fine because I will have a great time doing
Yeah,
it. I
you
am
will.
in a phase of my life where I just want joy. And I feel like messing about with these people would bring me tremendous joy. But you know what else would bring me tremendous joy as a trader? Keeping Michael in the game as long as humanly possible.
Yes.
And I don't like saying that because I can't stand watching him as a viewer, but he is the perfect person for a trader to have around.
Absolutely. This was something that ended up happening with Tom last season. A lot
Yes.
of people thought maybe he's a traitor because he's just such kind of like a strange guy and outspoken guy that the trader's just like, he's great to have around. Everyone's always going to throw Tom's name out perfect.
Yeah, and that brings us into, we spent a lot of time trying to think about past seasons, past faithfuls, and maybe there were some potentially really bad ones who just got taken out really early, so we never really got to experience it. But Sandoval, let's have the Tom Sandoval conversation here, because is he abrasive? Is he loud? Yes, but was he either of these things on the level that Michael Rapaport is right now?
No, and yes, of course he would go on some tangents and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but most of them were not around the table. A lot of them were in private with people, like poor
Yeah.
Brittany, who had to listen to that over and over and over again. He was always
Yes.
pulling people aside to like put out his theories, which you're supposed to do. And
Yeah.
him as a faithful, he was doing what he was supposed to do. He was
Yeah.
trying to get money, and he was trying to figure out who the traitors were. It's just he's kind of a strange guy, and people didn't really seem to want to be around him. So
No.
he was always a really good shield for the traitors. And yes, there are other, of course, bad faithfuls that just weren't good at the game like Ivar, but it's not the same. I mean,
No.
he also was trying to figure things out and looking at certain people of maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And yeah, you can be wrong, you can be
Yep.
right, that's fine, but he tried.
Yeah, you can make attempts and be, a boring faithful. We've certainly seen plenty
Right.
of those and make it really, really far, or even win or co-win a given season. It
Right.
just really to be a bad faithful, you just have to do all of these things where you are not just intentionally sabotaging your own game, but you're doing that to others. Like I could say maybe Sandoval qualifies for 2 or 3 of the criteria that we've listed, but you touched on it. He was trying to strategize, and
Yeah,
there
he
is
was.
enough evidence that he made some sort of attempt, and it just felt like even when he didn't listen, he still let other people talk to him, and it didn't feel like he was just throwing names out there without any sort of evidence, without any sort of backing.
He was also incredibly entertaining. And this is the part that I'm having the hardest
Yeah.
time with. I really like a good villain
Mhm.
on reality TV. I'm here for the Jess mess. I want anything that's as messy as it possibly can be.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, this just isn't hitting in all those nice ways that are like, yeah, it's really messy
Yeah.
and, whatever. And we're getting into it, but we're still having the strategy and people are still trying. This is just not that.
No, it's not. And this is where you're going to get on your soapbox here with Sandoval. I'm going to get on my Danielle Reyes soapbox because I have heard so many people talk about how much they just couldn't stand
But
her.
she's so
That's the
messy.
thing. Like, yeah, she took on kind of at times a villain role, but at the same time,
And that's
yeah,
fine.
she was really messy. She was really entertaining.
Yes, she
Yeah,
was.
it's good to watch Sari play. It's good to watch people who play an
Oh.
amazing traitor game, but it's also fun sometimes to watch people who are messy and make mistakes, but they're at least trying really hard. And it's just with Michael. I hope he's gone in the next couple of episodes. We've already spent, 20
Next
minutes
episode.
of oxygen here. We need to move on. We need to talk about other players, please.
Absolutely. I think that it's just in the best interest of the faithfuls to get rid of other faithfuls that are not helping. Like, I understand what happened with Portia. Oh, I killed Ian. I absolutely would have brought that to the table too.
Yeah.
She said she killed Ian. Like, I understand there's lots of people like, oh, that's just the way, she talks. She kind of doesn't remember, or doesn't see things one way or another way or whatever. She just talks without thinking. Okay, great, but I don't know her. So I don't
Yeah.
know her. And she tells me she killed Ian. Then she killed Ian and she's got to go. And even if she didn't kill Ian, that's a problem. Like, having a
Yes.
faithful that's out here saying these types of things, that's also a distraction from having good gameplay. I don't need that as a faithful. I need faithfuls to come together to be able to actually get business done.
So, with all of this in mind, please, faithfuls, do your job. Mark Ballas, I'm looking at you. Don't be boring this entire season, so I have to come on here and defend you every single week.
White Knight, Mark.
I might as well. I'm the only person who seems to like him at this point. But all right, well, that is what we have to say about Michael Rapaport, the worst
Yep.
faithful in the history of the Traitors US. But all right, what is you guys' take on all this? Do you agree with us? Are you going to nominate someone else to compete against Michael for this title? Let us know in the comments. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more Traitors content. And as Jess said, you can also support us via the memberships program
Yes.
here on YouTube. We are going to be covering exclusively there. Hijack, we are unbelievably excited. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you here next time.